I got a new project. So in a search for a bigger canvas, and I was looking for something that would be even bigger than I can fit in my room, I had finally found somebody who agreed to let me paint their wall. So today I'll be sharing my process and experience. First time creating mural, or my biggest painting yet would be a better definition for this thing that I'm going to be trying to do today. But in this video I want to share my experience, all the materials that I used, the steps that I used to create this, and yeah, it's my first time using spray paints, so we're trying a new medium. I of course did as much research as I could, and today we will be priming the wall. So I bought some of these pre-treatment spray. It looks like this. And I will be priming this wall, so it will take about 24 or more hours to dry. So that's the first step. In the process, I also got some, and this time I'll be wearing a FFP-free mask, because basically this stuff is very toxic, extremely flammable as well, so I need to be careful. And this place that I got permission to paint is an underground garage, which means that the ventilation is really poor, and I need to be careful with the toxicity around here. So without further ado, let's do the first step and prime this bad boy. So the wall is fully primed and I let it 24 hours to dry. Before I go any further, I just need to explain, do not take this as a tutorial or in any way. I also do not do what I'm doing because I have no idea what I'm doing. So on my way here in the airport, I created a sketch and I've prepared everything for something that is relatively simple to draw. And in my head it was simple, and now when I started looking at the wall, I took some pictures of the wall and I tried to digitally add my sketch there. It is a little more complicated than I thought it will be, but I'll do my best, and I picked a geometric shape. So this sketch that you're seeing right now, this is a compass rose. I'll get to a bit about the meaning behind the compass rose later in the video, but today what I'll try to do is 3 ways that I'm going to transfer the sketch onto the wall and have some sort of outline already done with the paint. So first I prepared this. This is a large ruler that I wrapped in thick paper, and I also have some cutouts that I made of the sketch. Got some regular drawing chalk that I plan to use and mark where each shape starts and ends. And similarly, like you would paint in a normal scenario, starting from the biggest shapes going into smaller ones. And let's see how the first outline and the first layering goes. just a few things. I cannot do
small details with the spray can. Probably because, well, one, I'm not used to a spray can. The other thing is just like the details are so small that even using my cutout sketch, like it's way too complicated. So I actually just drove down the store, got a couple of acrylic markers, and hopefully I can do the smaller details with them. It's been a long day. Like, this is taking way longer than I expected. I thought I'd be done by now, but it's super fun. So just gonna continue and carry on. So we are finally done. This took way more effort than I expected it to take. But I essentially want to tell you a tiny bit of the lessons learned from this, let's say, trial for, I wouldn't call it graffiti as such, more like a practice run of spray paints. But most importantly, the primer worked wonders. I think it's really worth to prime the wall because the paint sticks very nicely when the wall is nice and primed. Secondly, small details are really hard to do with spray paints, so it is worth to get like thick acrylic markers. Those work really nicely for those. Third and most important, so if I was to do this over again, I would definitely paint over the wall beforehand. What I mean is to set a background. So now there's all these old small writings, slurs, whatever that's left on the wall, and they do stick out from the drawing. So essentially they are ruining the composition a little, they're ruining the background, and it looks just messy. I of course have a lot to learn, let's say, how to do it right, but it's still a work in progress. And maybe, you know, next time I come back here, because I'm traveling for a friend's wedding, maybe next time when I come back here, I'll try to fix it and maybe paint all over and just start again. So I promised to tell you a little bit about the meaning behind the drawing. So this symbol of a compass rose came from the 14th century, and it was, well, mostly used for naval navigation. Now, getting lost at sea meant also that you're probably not gonna make it back, which was a very devastating thing. And throughout centuries in different cultures, the spiritual meaning and also practical meaning changed along the time, but that direction of finding the right path kind of stayed. Now, for me, this was with a slightly different meaning. When I was drawing this, I was more thinking not as much about finding the right way, but rather having different possibilities and opportunities out there in every direction, meaning that it's not about picking one and hoping that will be the right one, rather that every direction, every decision and opportunity you take will have different results, and hopefully something that is better for you as long as you keep trying. Thank you so much for watching. This was another episode of Make Journey. This was my experiment of trying out spray paints. I think I will probably paint over this wall in the future. Not exactly the result that I was hoping for, but we try, we learn, and we try again. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.